going on, my creative athletes, and welcome back to a new video. If you're new here, well, I'm Will Hebert. I'm a graphic designer and content creator from the beautiful city of Montreal, Canada. I've been working in the design field for the past 4 years of my life. Since I was a kid, I've always been interested in the graphic design field, and here I am doing what I love every single day. In today's video, I'll be talking about my experience as a graphic design student and going to design school, and giving you guys a brief overview of what I've been doing in the past year and a half, and also giving you guys the long-term perspective of what going to design school can bring you. And as a person that has been working in the field in the past, before going to school and while going to school, I think that I have some valuable things that some people that haven't worked in the field yet don't know. And so with this experience, I'm at a good point where I know that some of the things we do are valuable and some others are not. And so I wanted to share my experience with some of the younger people out there which think of going to design school and don't know if it's actually valuable. The quick answer is, yes, it is valuable, because you learn a lot of things which you would maybe not otherwise find online. Because the main thing is that when you work by yourself and try to find valuable information online, you don't exactly know where to look at and what kind of information you're looking for. Sometimes you might be like, oh, I want to improve my layout design, and so you're gonna look at some layout videos. But still, when you go to design school and want to learn the actual design stuff, it's great to work with people that have been in the field in the past and have dedicated like 30 years of their lives doing their craft. So they know what they're talking about, and they're really there to help you out. So if you have any questions, you can ask them, which is great. Sometimes working by yourself online might not be giving you that option to ask questions around, because maybe you're not the kind of person that just asks to random people and just try to get answers from. So design school is something that really helps to get the fundamentals down of design. I've only been through half of my design school learning, and so I don't know what's like. I have a good idea of what's coming up, because I know what the field is like, but I know that some of the things that I'll be seeing online and in podcasts or in books are not going to be taught to us in design school. And so I'll give you a brief overview of what we do. I go to a design college here in Montreal. It's a great program. It's one of the most known ones in Montreal. So and it's been great so far. I've had lots of fun pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I think that's one of the key points that teachers want us to experience, is just to get out of our comfort zone and try to experience as many things as possible. Especially the fact that we're still young. It's great that we get to touch many subjects and many things and really try different techniques to come up with textures, colors, and just really work with both the craft of materials and paint, and just looking for your own things without like using resources online, or for example making your own mock-ups instead of actually looking up online and using something that somebody else did. That's what it's really about, looking to master your craft by yourself and also experience the things before actually using resources online. So for example, if you're looking for certain brush type of feel to a texture and you want to get it, instead of using a resource that somebody else did online, you're actually going to learn the method to do that resource. So that's a great thing about design school, is that you really get to explore. And for example, this piece was done in 3D foundations. At first, the 3D foundation course, we all thought it was on the computer using like Blender or Cinema 4D, doing like bunch of cool 3D renders of like items and stuff like that. But it was actually to use WID to make something. This was supposed to be a box, but I pretty much transformed the project into just creating my logo that I had for my YouTube channel when I was a kid into 3D. So it's an actual piece that has been made with saws and a bunch of tools that I don't remember the name because I don't work with them anymore. But yeah, it's just like doing a bunch of things that get you to discover your craft and also your personality, because you get to put your own creativity into your projects, and the teachers really push you to develop your own craft. So another good example is just exploring different ideas, and for that we had a whole semester, so a whole 5-6 months that we had to do a visual diary. So this is my own. It's not completely filled up, but it's just like a bunch of, I'll try to show you a better angle of this. It's just basically a bunch of like cool drawings, pictures that I found, like textures, and really to, I'll give you a better angle of this, but really to develop your eye and find good ideas from your surroundings. So I have old drawings that I did. I have pictures of like clothing and cool things that I found. I have pictures from online. So it's really to just explore and get ideas from other places. But that's one of the projects. Another cool thing that we did is this. This is a whole semester of just working with colors, and in this course it was color and communication. It was how to mix colors to obtain others, and we learned about all of this RGB, CMYK, and working with colors, and we learned it from scratch. So at first we were mixing colors with paint, with acrylic paint, and trying to convey emotions. So like, for example, I was doing compositions and like 2 different feelings, but it's actually the same composition, and other things. So like, this was all done by paint, and you can still see the comments from my teacher. So like low saturation, or like repeated hue combination. So like a bunch of cool little comments to really start being really picky about colors and how to match them together to get a good feeling of what it's going to be when you mix colors on the computer. Because when you start mixing colors with paint and actually manually by mixing the primary colors together, then you really start to understand how they work on the computer. And so when you slide that little slider around in Photoshop and actually use the color picker, you actually understand why these colors work so well together, or why they do not. So this color communication course might have seemed like a waste of time, and a lot of people think it's a waste of time, but I think I learned a lot from this class, and it was actually pretty fun. And I think that now that I did it, it's helped me with the projects that I've done in the past few months after it. And so this is another one. You also get to, here's another one of my courses, which I did actually blobs. And the blob project was one of the main key projects of the first year. It's a project to experience shape with just to experience how shapes interact with their surroundings, and the goal of it was to get a feel for forms and how they interact with the negative space and the positive space. And so this is later applied to text and images and layouts. Believe it or not, some people think also that it's a waste of time. These little projects really do seem like, when you're into it, you're just like, why am I doing this? This was done with Sharpie, and it was just like refinement over refinement. So like we started from like just drawing random shapes to selecting one and then refining it. So like selecting some portions of them, and then from these portions, we were actually zooming in and refining it with Sharpie. So this was not done on the computer. It was really done by hand. And it's just to get a feel of how shapes interact with the positive and negative space, to get a feeling for how to make interesting layouts, and just to really experience with dynamism, and to do dynamic layouts, and to really explore the basics of design, because this was basic design 1 in which we did that. And so it was pretty cool. And I also got to develop some manual skills, because believe it or not, drawing precisely without doing without moving your hand and doing some little marks outside of your bob is really hard. And also other manual skills include mounting your thing on an actual cardboard, so how to not get glue on the front of it. So that was my blob. So how to not get glue in the front while gluing a tracing paper, and how to get nice cuts. So it really gets you to experience the manual skills and the digital skills, which we later on started to experience both in the first year, but now more in the second year. So I'll be showing some of my digital projects. I'm not going to be turning around and stuff like that. I'll just show them on my screen right there. And so some of the cool digital projects we did a lot of layouts in the past year, and we've experienced with how text and images interact with each other. In the first year, we played a lot with basic shapes. So for example, we had a course, this basic design course that I just talked about with the blob shapes, where we were playing with just dots and how making them look bigger or smaller actually made a difference with how the feeling of like how the shapes interacted with each other. So in the first year, it was more about learning the tools. So really getting yourself familiar with the Adobe programs such as Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign, which were the 3 main programs we were using in the first year, to just get our hands on them and really understand how they work. Because if you don't understand the technical skills, then how do you want to be creative with them? And then on the second year right now, what we're learning is actually using these tools, and we're continuously learning them because they have so many features, and you could be learning them for your whole life, and you're probably not going to learn all of the features. And so the first year was more of the technical side of things, and the second year is really to get our creativity going with these tools. And so in graphic design school, you basically have the first year where you really learn the technical side of things. So for example, you're going to be learning Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign to do layouts and to do illustrations and to edit photos, and to really get your set of technical skills right. You're also going to have photo classes depending on what school you go to, but mostly the first year is really to learn the technical skills. And so you're going to be replicating some stuff. So for example, the teacher is going to give you a layout, And with the classes and the lessons that they're going to teach you, then you're going to have to recreate a layout and recreate things to really get a feel for the tools that you're going to be using for the rest of your career. Then in the second year, you really start to get creative. And so your creative side pops in, and the teachers ask you to start to get a feel for how to solve problems and how to communicate with visual images, some sort of feeling or some sort of message. In the second year, right now, what we've been doing some digital imaging, so how to edit pictures and make stuff look professional. Personally, I haven't learned so much in the digital side of digital imaging classes, because I've had the opportunity to work as a graphic designer for a company, and I've had the opportunity to learn it with them to actually take product photography and edit pictures professionally. So on this side, I can't say that I've learned much, but getting the basics of taking photos and editing them is for sure something that's super fun to learn. Who doesn't love to learn Photoshop and just to edit their friends and do funny montage? So funny Photoshop montage. It's pretty fun, and I think it's great. Other things that I haven't enjoyed so much is the illustration class. Personally, I'm not a fan of drawing in this whole graphic design field. I know teachers are like, you have to know how to draw. It's true in a way, but like drawing people naked is not something that's going to bring me any value as a graphic designer, especially for what I want to do later on in my career. I don't think that drawing trees or like drawing landscapes is going to help me in any way. I say I didn't like the class because I wasn't a fan of drawing, and I'm not a fan of just sitting and just drawing to just, pass time. I'm not that kind of person. In my class, there's people that have been drawing for their whole life since they were a kid, and they draw amazing things. But I'm not that kind of person that just sits and just draw random stuff on a piece of paper and just enjoy it, I'd rather be sitting in my room just doing meditation than doing this. So, but I get the point why teachers want to push it that much. It's just because getting your ideas on paper quickly is great. And the fact that I didn't like them doesn't mean I didn't learn anything. I really took the time to get the drawings done and to really try and understand the different techniques to get my drawing game better. So some of my drawings, I know they're not super great. Upside down this way, this, and we worked a lot with ink and stuff like that. And so at first it was just really to get a feeling for how to work with ink. Again, they want to push us to work with materials that will get our creativity going and not using things that are already online. So these are just quick ink drawings. When I say quick, some of them took longer than others. I'm gonna skip a few, but look at that city. It's kind of nice to play with textures and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the key points of this illustration class, was to get a feeling for how to use different materials that we weren't used to. This was one of my cool pieces that I did that I really enjoy. It's super detailed and it's great. Then I have this cool one, which was a loose line drawing. The other one was a tight line drawing, and the point was really to get used to the quality of your lines and really to get a feel for how to use the ink as a medium to express emotion through drawing. That was a class that I didn't enjoy at first, but now that I've been through it, I understand the point. I've learned a lot, and my drawing game is much better now that I've done it. Another cool thing that we did in this class was lino cutting. So we actually I actually carved this with a tool, believe it or not, and it doesn't look so great right now, but I'll put a picture like right there of the final illustration that it did. So we basically putting ink everywhere on my fingers. It basically taught us to recreate an illustration with lino printing. So we carved it, and then the process is that you actually draw your illustration on pen and paper, and then once you're done, you actually put that put your illustration with a tracing paper over that lino plate, which you then carve and then put ink over it and print it. And then you can Photoshop your illustration at the end to make it look perfect and clean. But basically, it's just the whole manual process of doing an illustration and get a feeling through it and get a message through the final user. So it's, I know it seemed like a lot, but I think that all of these classes really got me out of my comfort zone, and it was a good thing because as a designer, you want to get a feel for different things before getting in the industry, especially at a young age like me. I think that this was my main goal with design school. It was to experience many things, to see what I like. In conclusion, design school is great. It gives you a lot of value in terms of creativity and how to learn to just come up with ideas. And so it's really valuable for that aspect. But one thing that I think is really lacking is the fact that we don't really learn about the business side of things. So if you're trying to learn about how to prove ideas to clients, maybe that kind of thing you're going to have to learn on your own. And so that's why I'm probably going to be doing a marketing course, like a marketing program after this, just to really get myself into proving ideas to clients and to do customer research and how to target a specific audience, how to get a message through to them. And so, that's something that I'm probably going to be doing, or I'm going to try to figure out some kind of way to learn it by myself online. But overall, I think it's a great experience. You're going to learn a lot from it. I really recommend it. I know some people are like, you don't need design school. You don't need it because in today's world, you can learn anything online, right? But to get you to push yourself to your limit, and to have many things to do in the same time, having to organize yourself and learn to work under pressure is something that's so valuable. It's not something that they teach you in a specific course, but you learn it over time just because you get yourself into the mood of, okay, I'm going to work all night on this project because it's due tomorrow. And then the other day I have another project. And the other day after I have 3 projects to end it. So it's really this rush that you get, and it's a special feeling. It's something that's not pleasant in the moment, but after you feel so proud of the projects you get done and you get so much of your creative ideas going. And so it's been great for me so far. I still have half of it to do, and another year and a half, but the first year and a half went by so quick. So, it's been great for me so far. I learned a lot from it, and even though I didn't like all of the classes, so this is a brief overview of what design school is all about. If you guys stayed until the end, thank you so much, and hope you liked the video. If you did, put a like down below and sub if you loved it. And I will see you soon, because during the holidays I'm going to be uploading at least 2 videos a week for you guys. I love teaching design. Hopefully you learned 1 or 2 things, or just get a better understanding of what design school is all about. That was my goal with this video, just to clarify your thoughts. And if you're thinking about going to design school, it's a great idea. Go for it if you don't know where to go. If you think that it's better to learn by yourself and you're confident enough that you can be organized and you know the kind of resources you're looking for, then for sure go with learning by yourself as a self-taught designer. If you have any questions about design and design school, then you can let me know down below or connect with me on my socials, which will be in the end card at the end of the video and in the description down below as well. And I'll be happy to answer them yeah, give you my honest opinion about whatever you guys want to talk about. And yeah, we can have a chat, and for sure it's gonna be great. So thank you for staying until the end of the video again. I really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, stay creative.